Disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All third-party video clips, audio, and commentary fall under fair use as outlined in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, in accordance with applicable laws. The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and should not be taken as fact or professional advice, and do not necessarily reflect current views or affiliations.
What's going on, drivers? Welcome back, man. Welcome back to another episode. Now, check this out, drivers. That sound, right? The one that you pray that you never hear while you're driving the truck. It's a bang. It's a jolt, a shock that runs from the back of the trailer tandems right up through the driver's seat. Man, you just got hit, driver. And it happens to the most of us, right? Accidents happens in trucking. See, your training, your experience, everything you know is all thrown out the window. All that's left right now is the adrenaline and a question that's screaming in your head.
What just happened?
So, what you do, you get out, you go behind the trailer, and you see the horror, the twisted metal, the wreckage up under your rig. And in that moment of pure shock, drivers, what you do next is what you do what so many now do. You pull out your cell phone and you hit the record button. And with that moment, quite possibly, driver, you probably made the biggest mistake of your career. Now, it might not be a mistake if you do it right, but if you decide to upload that carnage, that accident up for the world to see, then you quite possibly could have made the wrong choice and a bad mistake. Now you're walking the scene with your phone in your hand, camera rolling, and you're trying to make sense of what just happened behind your truck. You think you're creating a record. You think you're documenting your side of the story. But driver, what you're actually doing right now is handing a loaded gun to the lawyers who is already on the way. Those billboard lawyers that we see every day on these highways. Yeah, they coming. What you're doing right now, driver, is you're recording Exhibit A for the lawsuit that will haunt you for years. Listen, every word, every shaky frame, you pretty much put the nail in your own coffin. See, driver, you was the victim of a horrific accident. But since you uploaded the information, the video, and your commentary to the internet, now you just became the architect of your own downfall. Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
So drivers, listen, this TikTok video right here shows the immediate aftermath of a severe traffic accident at night on the highway. Now, in the video, which you can go back and watch on TikTok, I'll link the young man's TikTok link in the description below, and you can go back and watch the video. Now, we can't actually tell what actually happened. Was he parked or was he on the highway? By the looks of the video right here, it seems as though that he was parked. And if that was the case, then I don't know. But the person that's filming this video right here is the driver of that truck. He's walking around the scene, documenting the damages. And of course, he's doing all of this with his cell phone. See, what looks like a blue SUV has crashed with extreme force into the rear of his trailer, becoming completely wedged underneath it. The SUV pretty much destroyed. Roof is torn off. Front end is tore up. Yeah, it's a horrific and bad scene. The rear of the trailer, though, which is damaged as well, as you can see, it pushed the tandems all the way up under the trailer. So, of course, throughout this video right here, the driver provides his commentary. He's pretty much shaken. He's emotional, which, granted, is what you would be in a situation like that. He expresses his shock and severity of the impact. Now, here's problem number one, is that he speculates out loud that the driver of the SUV must have been traveling at a very high rate of speed, and notes that the crash was so violent, again, it pushed the whole trailer tandems all the way up. The driver also mentions that the incident is making him reconsider his career as a truck driver, which in a situation like that would, if anybody that's brand new to trucking and they have a severe accident like this, yeah, sometimes that will weigh heavily on your mind, especially if it's a fatal accident. Now, tragically, the driver implies that the accident was fatal, as he says in his own words, "God bless the dead." And of course, that's in reference to the car driver. Yeah. See, that's probably might be problematic. The first one was speculating, and then the second one is saying that, yeah, all of this information that's on your video, bruh, you might want to reconsider any of that information. Drivers, why posting this video online for the world to see is a bad idea for the driver. See, while the driver appears to be the victim in this tragic incident, posting this video to the internet, especially with his own commentary, is very risky and ill-advised decision for several critical reasons. Here's 4 reasons why you should never upload a video after an accident. Number 1 is the legal and insurance liability. And drivers, this is the most important reason right here. See, the video is now evidence. Anything that he posts online can be used as evidence in a legal proceeding or the insurance claim. His own words, tone, and what he chooses to show or not to show can be scrutinized by the lawyers and the insurance adjusters. And take my word for it, they will chop this video down to every minute second. See, statements can be misconstrued. In a state of shock, he's making an unscripted statement for the lawyers. See, these billboard lawyers right here, at least for the family, if the driver didn't make it, listen, he could twist the words, and he will. For example, his speculation about the other driver, in his own words, he said, well, maybe the other driver was on his phone. Maybe the other driver was speeding. See, with that could be portrayed as him creating a narrative to deflect any potential blame that's coming towards him, even if there's no blame exists, right? Also, drivers, admission against the interest, right? While the driver doesn't admit fault, which you shouldn't, in any accident, you should not state anything. You should just talk to the officer or anybody of that matter that comes and see the situation out. That's who you talk to. Again, while he don't admit any fault, see, any statement can be potentially used against him. So listen, drivers, the best practice after any accident is to speak directly to law enforcement and your company's safety department and your company's legal team and your own legal team. See, right here, this is where I'm going to pause and say, listen, drivers, if you don't have it already, you need to get it. You need to get yourself some type of legal assistance. Me, I got Legal Shield. With Legal Shield, you'll pay once a month. I pay about $30 a month to be membership. And what Legal Shield do in any situation, any ticket, any accident, any case, you'll send that information to them and they'll route you to one of their best attorneys in that area that will help you through your case. Sometimes it could get knocked down, sometimes not, but it's always better to have that added protection. See, that's something that a lot of you new drivers don't even know, because the only thing y'all know about is get in the bag, getting that money. No. It's a whole circle of things that you need to do when you get into trucking. And getting legal protection for yourself is part of that process. Legal Shield, make sure you check them out today. LegalShield.com, or I will find the link and I will have it in the description below. Now, back at it. Drivers, listen. Publicly commenting in the video and uploading it for the world to see pretty much creates an unnecessary record for you. Number 2, professional and employment consequences. See, a company policy that could be in violation. Nearly every major trucking company has a strict social media policy that forbids drivers from posting about accidents, especially from an active accident like this. See, the company's name in this video, I think it's Arca Express, is clearly visible in the back of this trailer. And this right here could lead to a possible disciplinary action, including termination for that driver. See, also what this creates a negative brand association for that company. See, now this driver has publicly tied his company's name to a quite possibly fatal accidents. See, companies, major carriers, they spend a lot of money on protecting their brand and image, and definitely don't want it associated with a terrible accident such as this right here, especially accidents on social media. And also, drivers, this can also demonstrate poor judgment on the driver. From a trucking company standpoint, a driver's first actions at a serious accident scene should be to ensure their own safety and try and reassure the safety of the other person that's involved. Then after they do that, they have to contact the emergency authorities to come to the scene to render help if possible. Now, unfortunately, filming TikToks in this situation shows a lapse in professional judgment during a critical incident. Number 3, drivers, is insensitivity and lack of discretion, right? Disrespect for the other person that's involved. Now, he did mention and reference that the other driver could be gone from this earth, right? And if that's the case, filming the scene of a fatal accident and posting it online for public consumption is extremely insensitive. See, the victim's family may not even been notified yet and could stumble across this TikTok, which would be an unimaginable, horrible way to find out of their loved ones passing in an accident. Treating tragedy as content. And as I always say, we're in an era of everything is for content, right? Turning a fatal accident into a social media content is crazy work and can be perceived as disrespectful, regardless of the driver's intent or emotional state, right? The last one, number 4, is compromising the official investigation, right? See, now drivers, what happened is you're creating a public narrative, right? The video itself and the comments in the comment section that's going to come into this video will most certainly immediately create a public narrative before the investigators even have a chance to determine the official cause of the accident. See, this can lead to plenty of speculation and misinformation, right? See, the driver's focus should be on providing a clear, factual statement to the police and not to the social media audience. So drivers, listen. In short, while his shock and desire to share what happened are understandably on a human level, it is in a professional and legal context, this was a significant mistake, driver. See, he could have, what he could potentially have done is created a piece of evidence that could be used against him and his trucking company. He could potentially violate company policies and also quite possibly acted insensitive in the wake of this tragedy. So drivers, listen, I just want to just say before I get out of here is definitely stay safe out there. Watch your 6, watch your 9, watch your 3, and definitely watch your 12 out there on the road, because anything and everything will quite possibly happen to you out on this road. Driving on this road is always dangerous. We are in the top 5 dangerous job industries there is. Trucking is not for the weak. Trucking is not for the play. And if you do get into any accidents or anything like that, I will say the first thing that you do is gather all the information, save that information, give that information to the cops, give that information to your job, and give that information to the lawyers or insurance companies that's going to require it. Until everything is all said and done, until it gets cleared, then and only then you can possibly come out and share what happened to you.
Has your company ever explicitly warned you about filming or posting accident footage? Do you think this driver posts this for clout, or are they just in shock and not thinking clearly? We want to hear from you. Send your story at lockoutmenpodcastguest@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. This is the Trucking Commentary Podcast, Trucking Unfiltered.